it's Kevin and Frank from Cruising with Wheels.
And welcome to another exciting episode of our Q&A. Today we're going to answer questions that you have submitted to us. But first, we want to say to all our U.S. friends, Happy 4th of July.
That's right, it's Independence Day
That's
today.
right. Most of you are going to be outside having picnics and hot dogs and burgers and whatever.
Maybe some people are on a cruise right now.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Celebrating. Yeah. Well, let's get to the first question. What's the first question?
First question is, what is a guaranteed status accommodation or a guaranteed cabin or anything with the word guaranteed?
Well, guarantee just doesn't it simply mean
I'm going to get a
that
cabin.
you're going to get a cabin. You just don't know what it's going to be, right?
Right.
And very often, a guarantee will be the cheapest price. That's usually what you see when you're looking for the cruises is the cheapest price.
That pretty much is the incentive of booking that guarantee.
Right, is that it's
it might
the
be a
cheapest
good price, but you're not sure where they're going to put you.
Now, sometimes you won't be eligible for promotions if you book a guarantee.
Because the price is so good.
Right. So keep all that in mind,
Yeah,
but
so-
that's the basic
Yeah,
gist
so
of it,
for those
right?
of you that are very catch as catch can and I really don't care, I'll take the lowest price ever, guaranteed room. I don't care where they put me. It's a cruise. That one's for you.
Now, but it might be beneficial for some people because some people have booked an inside cabin and ended up with a suite.
Yeah.
We just heard from one of our subscribers. I don't know if I told you or not. She, I believe, I can't remember what ship she said she was sailing on now while we're filming this, but she booked a balcony and ended up with the penthouse suite.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
You saw that.
I saw that. Now, for some people, booking a guarantee isn't really an option. Mm-hmm. And that would be people like us. Mm-hmm. Because we have to have a full-turn handicap access cabin. And so we can't just go in and say, you know, we'll take the lowest price guaranteed, you know, room and wherever you put us. Because
Doesn't work that way.
it don't work that way.
Now, next on our list is a question about ATMs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Are there ATMs on board the ship?
That's right, because, you know, I'm running around the ship with my credit card and my sail ship card, and I want to use them all. So if you need money, you need cash because you're thinking, you know, I want to use cash in the casino, I want to use cash when I go into port. Yeah, they got ATMs, but
They have ATMs, but they're really expensive. We would never use an ATM on board the ship because it's like $10 fee or whatever. It's expensive.
yeah, and I bring enough cash in my
Yeah.
little envelopes to cover us, and if I don't have enough cash, too bad, we're done spending.
Well, on some cruise lines, you can use your Sail and Sign
Yes.
card in the casino to do basically you put your card in, you put in your PIN number, and you can charge your room, and it shows up on your credit card as entertainment. So there's no like fee, cash advance fee or whatever, but very often the cruise lines will be a 1%, 2%, 3% fee for doing that, and it loads it on the slot machine. We've done this. It loads it on the slot machine, and then you can push cash out and take it out and then go get the money, which is a lot cheaper than
A
using
little
an ATM.
dangerous charging casino stuff to your room. Oh.
What's next on
Next
our-
one on the list is, what will happen if there's a hurricane during my cruise? Like I'm on the ship. And, well, I mean, we haven't been through a hurricane, but we actually were through that trip down the
Nor'easter?
coast. Yeah, it was like two storms collided and we were in the middle of it. I can't even imagine being actually a hurricane approaching. What happens?
I have no idea what happens. I have no idea other than we trust the captain that he's
Right.
going to make the right decisions.
Right. I mean, they have the technology on the bridge. They know the weather well in advance. They know what's coming. The captain makes the decision to reroute here or can't go there. And in some cases,
shit happens.
yeah. And,
I mean, it is what it is.
Maybe a port is canceled because that's where it's kind of going to hit, and you might be diverted.
Right.
So
So,
yeah.
and there have been instances where they've canceled cruises.
Yeah.
I remember Katrina.
Yeah.
I think they canceled Hurricane Katrina. They canceled cruises going out of Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans. I mean, they were devastated.
They just canceled those cruises and took those ships out to sea so
Right.
they didn't get damaged.
Right. But hopefully, while you're on the ship, there'll be no bad weather.
Right.
And hurricane season, because that's another big question as we're talking about hurricane season is, what is it, like June going into like mid to the end of September?
Okay.
Something like that?
Something like that.
I think
I'm
that's
not
what it
sure on
is.
the. I'm not sure on the
because we always
specifics.
have that in mind when we are looking at a Caribbean cruise, or really any cruise, but primarily the Caribbean, because God, they always develop out there, and we worry for our favorite islands. So yeah, we're cognizant of the time of the year. Google it, check it out.
So our next question is, can I bring any guests on board the ship before it leaves?
Oh, hell no.
What do they think this is, Love Boat?
I know, it doesn't happen. No, your friends and family that may be dropping you off at the port terminal cannot go into the terminal. You have to be security screen checked.
I
You
think
have
we
to have
kind of talked about that
we
in
did.
our last one,
Yeah,
right?
you
Didn't
hit-
we
yeah.
have a question
Yes.
like that?
And you have to have a cruise ticket. So no, not only will you not be allowed on board the ship, but you won't even be allowed in the cruise terminal.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
So say your goodbyes at the curb.
Hugs and kisses and whatever, and throw streamers in the parking lot.
What's our next question?
The next one is there a babysitting service aboard the ship? I got my babies, but I need time alone with my significant, and I don't want to have my kids with me.
Well, of course it would depend on the ship,
Yes.
and it would depend on the cruise line. There would be a lot of, that's a hard question
It
to
is a
answer
hard one.
blatantly.
Right.
But we'll say that most ships offer a service,
And that's part of the decision-making process.
but it's going to cost you.
Yeah, decision-making process. When you're booking the cruise and you're searching, and whether it's Carnival or NCL or Royal Caribbean or Princess, whoever, that you're going down and you're checking their website to see if they do offer babysitting services, and if they do, fee or free.
Well, and how it works,
Right.
too, because...
Time frame involved?
Well, I was going to say what most ships have are group babysitting services or a kids program
Right.
where you drop them off. And some offer private.
Right.
So the private, they'd come to your cabin.
That's going to cost you.
Yeah, so, and they're, like you were saying, time
Right.
restrictions.
Yeah, you think they're going to babysit till 2 in the morning while you're
I don't-
out? I don't think so.
I don't know if you remember, but on one of our cruises with Dave and Darlene, it had to have been the Jade. That's the only one
Yes.
they've been on so far with
On the
us,
Getaway.
right? Oh, in the Getaway.
Yes.
So it was on the Jade. And they said that they were coming back from the club or something. And there was a little kid that had, I'm in the 2 a.m. club or 3 a.m. club or something, because I guess the cutoff time was maybe 1 in the morning, and the parents didn't pick him up until 2 or 3, so
Oh,
they put a
dear.
sign on him
Oh my gosh.
that said that he was like the 2 a.m.
Oh my
club.
God, they just left their kid. They were partying hardy. Wow. The next one is, what type of shore excursions do cruises have? Again, coming from someone who hasn't cruised, wants to know what's available. A general question, but
Well, excuse me.
goodness.
Those fireworks got up my nose, maybe. Well, there's lots of different excursions. You're going to have to check your cruise planner.
Right.
Or your, some people call it the cruise planner. Some people call it their, I don't know what, online account.
Right.
Wherever you've booked your cruise, you can go online and you can see what that cruise line offers. And typically there are 4 basic categories to that, right?
Right, pretty much.
There'll be a scenic tours.
Yeah.
There'll be an adventure
Adventures
tours.
like rafting and rock climbing and, I don't know, stuff that zip lining, I guess.
Family tours.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Which are more friendly to the little ones or the elderly.
Right, like zoos and parks or whatever.
And finally, food and wine.
Right.
Now, those are just 4 basics.
Right, like wine tasting, or in New England, our cruise coming up in September, there's going to be like a lobster luncheon, lobster dinner kind of thing. So yeah, and pretty much the excursions are broken down by pretty much 3 basic activity levels. So if you're looking,
and some of them call them. There are variations to what they're called,
Right.
but pretty much across the board, you're going to have 3 levels, right? And
right. Well, the easiest one would be like, which would have to be us, level 1, which some call easy, but you got to make sure.
Some cruise lines just say level 1.
Right.
So,
but again, we will be looking for a level 1, and in my case, it would have to be wheelchair accessible. So we would always be looking for that wheelchair symbol. But a lot of times when you look for level 1s, it will say that walking is required. So even though it's a level 1 easy, I couldn't do that because is walking and steps involved.
now
then,
level 2, level 2 will be categorized as moderate or mild. I've seen it say mild. I've seen it say medium level. And that's going to be more walking, more uneven terrain, right? I don't know what else
boats
moderate
on and off
would
of
have.
boats.
Yeah,
things that might
hiking.
Right. And the final one can be categorized level 3 as difficult or challenging, and that's like the whitewater rafting and the real adventurous,
the fly fishing.
the real hard stuff that we could not partake in. What
else do they have that's challenging? The zip line. I think
right.
Zip
well,
line.
they've got like you said, the hiking.
Oh, the off-wheeling.
Right, the 4x4 off-roading, party boats, fishing. Oh, train rides and whale watching. We did the train.
Those were easy.
Those were easy because they were handicap accessible. The train had a wheelchair lift on it. You can see that in our Alaska vlogs. The whale watching, the ramps right onto the boat.
It was a great trip.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, or basic just bus tours. You know, when you get on the bus and they narrate and take you around. So there's a variety of shore excursions.
You just need to decide whether you're going to book through the cruise line,
Right.
or whether you're going to book through a third party. And we always suggest booking through the cruise line,
Right.
Because you're a little bit more protected, and
They won't leave without you.
yeah, they won't leave without you. And if they do leave without you, because there are instances where they've done that, they will get you to the next destination. Now, I don't know if you remember when we were in Glacier Bay. Do you remember when we were in Glacier Bay with the big glacier in Alaska, and the boat was pulling up next to us, that little boat, and we were like, oh my God!
The party, it was like a sightseeing.
Well,
we
that
thought.
was because they had a whole excursion group that didn't make it back to the ship, but the ship needed to go on.
Right.
And they hired a boat to actually
I was going to say,
meet them
we
out.
were like, why are they doing this whole scenic boat? And it wasn't. They were being shuttled to the ship. Yeah, so they are responsible for taking care of you, which won't happen if you book an outside third party and something goes wrong. You're on your own. Yeah, so there's a lot of things to really look at. So if you haven't booked the cruise yet and you're interested, just go and Google excursions, just to kind of see what's out there. And if you have booked already, go to your booking site where your reservation is, and every day they upload different excursions.
Right. Well,
we-
it depends on when. It depends because, like, if some people don't book within 6 months. Like us, it's a year out we book. So there's nothing, or
Right,
there's
but
very
we
limited. But
see-
then they start.
Yeah, we see the increase of today.
Some people would hear every day and think
today
that it's
they
every
were
day.
60, and then tomorrow there's 80, and then the next day they're up to 100, and the next day there's 125, and we're looking.
It gets exciting.
Right, but then guess what? That number
Then they start to dwindle.
Right, because everybody's booking, and there's only a certain amount of people on a bus. Certain amount of people, like maybe Whale Watch was only 2 times that particular day at that port, and the numbers start dwindling down. So you really have to be on if you really want to pick the excursion you want. And for the people that ask us, will they have that excursion when I go to Alaska?
Don't know.
Don't know, because every sailing is different, and every excursion offering could be a bit different or be called something different than what we were on when we did our Whale Watch. So yeah, we can't always say blanket, oh yeah, they'll have that. We don't know.
So we want to thank you for joining us today. We want to let everybody know, if they don't know about Frank's Cruise Chat, that he has a group on Facebook.
Right, and that's where a lot of questions come into Cruise Chat. If just go to Cruise Chat, click to join.
There's a link in the description.
That's right. You'll be welcome and part of this whole community of cruisers, new cruisers, old cruisers. Ask your questions. Cruising with Wheels Facebook page. Instant message us. Email us at cruisingwithwheels@rochester.rr.com, and just ask the questions you need answered.
But until next time,
remember, always travel safe
and cruise often.